Hi, everybody. We are finally live. Oh, you might not even be able to hear me very well. So you can hear me on the other mic. So we are the Nat 30s, and this is the continuation of Wicked Independent Prestige Incorporated, The Journey. We are super late due to technological difficulties, so apologies there, but that's D&D on Twitch. And I think I'll skip our announcements except to say use your channel points to enter into the monthly giveaway. Um, our our new our new dice are our new dice are being created by Almost Critical right now for the month of March. We are deciding between a couple of different options, and one of them has been shared so far. So we will have more on that very soon. And we also have our mug club. Our two mug club winners just got their gifts just now. So you have 15 more days. Please use your BD&D mugs and take pictures and put it on socials and tag BD&D and the Nat 30s to enter into our mug club giveaways. And we have a Patreon. I'll put our link in the link tree. And that's all I'm going to say for now. So we can get to playing, and you can check out all of our other stuff on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter. All right, here we go. Hey, DM the Mark Knight. Hey, good to see you.
Hey,
I hope you're doing
Hiya!
okay out there. And thanks for joining us on the compound, our new home. I'm going to transition us into our intro thing, but it's only a couple seconds, so we'll be back.
yeah,
Okay, so I forgot that Pat wasn't here last session, so this recap will be good for him, or he watched the thing. Who knows? All right.
I half watched it. I'm not gonna lie, it was on in the background, and so I'm definitely a little hazy on where we're picking up.
So the party set sail aboard the ship, the Nyota Rossi. After an uneventful first day at sea, the group had dinner with the captain and some of the officers. They got to know each other a little bit, asked some questions, a little bit of banter back and forth as they feasted upon roast chicken, fresh vegetables, all the while imbibing some fine vintage wine, where at the end they toasted to the journey. The next day started sunny, if not a little brisk. In the late morning, a massive flock of seabirds flew in from the west and began encircling the ship, with several landing on the deck, and they began uncomfortably staring at Gary. Fortunately, fighting off his first instinct of simply eating the creatures, he found that, according to sailor lore, these birds were associated with Talos, the god of storms, and he had the honor of being chosen to perform a dance for the Storm King's amusement. And so, Gary climbed the rigging and began to dance a jig. Though it wasn't graceful, and ultimately he lost his balance and fell to the deck below, he did manage to amuse the storm god and was bestowed a one time use of two magical spells. With the strong possibility of a coming storm, the crew began the process of preparing the ship. By late afternoon, a school of flying fish was spotted. Uma, recognizing the signs of magic in them, instructed the crew to catch as many as they could as the ship sailed through the school. The task much easier said than done. After a few moments of mostly being blinded, a handful of fish were caught and put into a basket to be harvested later. For now, the crew had more important things to worry about as the light of the day began to wane. The temperature dropped, the seas began to swirl, the sky ahead of them was dark, with menacing clouds in the distance and flashes of lightning. The Storm King has come to test their resolve. Alright, so we pick up. The storm came upon you very quickly. Maybe to a seasoned sailor, they might have expected it that quick, but this folks who are terrestrial dwelling, it's like, damn, that looked like it was way over there, and now we're in it. So this storm is going to be a interesting skill challenge, and I've already rolled how many rounds it's going to be. I'm not going to tell you how many rounds it is. Each round is 1 hour of the storm. I need you guys to pick a position for your characters. I'll tell you what they are. Because right now it's like all hands on deck. You know, if you want to help. If you don't want to help, you stay the hell out of the way. So someone needs to assist the captain, help him with steering the ship, because normally Sweet Boot would be the pilot of the ship, but she is actually now assigned to the crow's nest. And because of the rough seas and everything like that, 2 people need to man the wheel. So the captain and one other person. So one of you can pick that. Someone can be on the main deck, the top deck. That's where actually most of the crew is going to be, because if the ship sinks, you don't want to be below decks. So that person on the main deck is going to help with damage control and help retrieve any sailors that fall overboard. Then someone needs to be on the gun deck to help keep the gunpowder dry and make sure that all the cannons remain secure. And then finally, we need somebody below deck in the cargo hold to help with the bilge pump and also make sure the cargo stays in place. So on the below deck, you'll be helping Yip Yak. The gun deck, you'll be helping White Powder. On the main deck, there will be several officers and a lot of the other crew members.
If nobody has any objections, Goraxis will take the main deck. He can control water to an extent, so that's probably a good spot for him to retrieve any sailors and stuff.
Gary's on the main deck.
I think Elsa would be helpful with the captain or down with Yip Yak.
Varro's never been on a ship, but he's willing to help anywhere that needs it.
For some reason, I see him like jumping back and forth in the rigging, like where the crow's nest is.
Now, Sweet Boot is up there, so. And Gary, you've taken the main deck, so there needs to be someone on the gun deck, someone helping steering with the captain, and someone in the cargo.
I vote
They'll
Uma
help
for
the
helping the
captain.
captain. Oh, what was that, Kat? I just talked over you. I'm sorry.
But I could go help the captain. I think the ship's wheel's gonna need some strength.
All right.
You could use
I
your
imagine
horns.
Uma's pretty strong too.
You could use your horns like the club, like wedge your horns in there so it can't turn.
Uh-huh.
All right. So
Okay, but
Elsa.
Varro will go help in the bottom of the ship with the Yip Yap.
All right. Borrow. So that means Uma, you are on the gun deck. So I'll just
sounds
throw
good.
you on there, and then
Before,
Varro.
do we have a moment before that happens? Like before we split up?
Yeah, I can give you a moment before you. We'll say it's as the storm's approaching, like things are moving quickly. But yeah, you have a moment to talk amongst yourself as people are running back and forth and getting things done and ready.
Graxus is gonna cast Water Walk. Just takes an action, and up to 10 creatures, willing creatures I can see within range, gains the ability to walk across any liquid surface, in this case water, as if it was solid ground.
Okay.
If it's... Yeah, that doesn't actually... if they get submerged in a liquid, the spell carries a target to the surface of the liquid at a rate of 60 feet per round. So if they get washed overboard, they still get propelled to the surface.
Okay.
I'll choose our party, so that plus myself. So
Well,
and then
not all of. Does it have to be people within your eyesight? Because you're on the deck. Not
Right, well,
the
right,
entire party is not on the deck.
that's why I asked if we had a moment before we split up. Like
Yeah,
in that
it
moment
doesn't have to
before.
stay. I'm gonna do the same thing for aid.
Like they don't have to
So it
stay
doesn't have to be
within.
lined. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have to stay within my range once I cast it. I don't believe.
No.
Okay.
Not unless it
It just
says like
says
it's concentration or whatever.
yeah, because it says up to. It's not even a concentrate. It just says up to 10 willing creatures you can see within range gain this ability for the duration. So I'm assuming that means they can move away from me after that.
Yep.
So I'll pick us 4, the captain, and as many officers that I can. That will.
Can
5
you?
other officers.
I don't know if you. Yeah. So if you look on the stream, you can see where you are on the deck of the ship right now. So.
And I'm gonna cast aid before we split up, so everybody gets so you 3, not me, get hold on, let me just double check to see. Yeah, you can only do it. You get 5 sorry, hold on. Each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increased by 5 for the next 8 hours.
Ooh.
All right. Anything else? Was anybody else casting anything before you split?
Could you repeat that one more time for me? We just gained our max.
Your max
Goes up
goes up by
temporarily.
5, and you get those 5. Like your maximum goes up, and it fills those 5 slots, and that's for 8 hours. So your new hit point maximum is +5.
How
And
long
we got
does
1d
water walk last
sorry.
for?
Lasts for 1 hour.
And we got
Okay.
1d4 inspiration from
You got one
Old
round.
Man Gamer Man.
All right.
Ooh, thank you.
All right. So yes. So there's going to be a lot of So this was something that was converted from from 4E, but this should be fun and interesting. So there's only going to be a lot of rolls, a lot of checks. There's going to be some pluses and negatives to your rolls, but that's going to depend on a lot of factors. So because you're helping the captain, you kind of have one of the most important jobs here. So when I ask you to, you're going to roll a ship handling check, and it's depending on what you roll, what you want to do here. So there's 4 levels. Maintain scuttling before the wind, maintain sailing on course, and increase status. So like if you drop, you want to be able to sail on course, but each time you fail a ship handling check, you lose a ship status. So instead of sailing straight, the boat will start to turn. You fail again, it's going to turn more. So when it gets to abreast against the waves, the ship takes 1 point of major damage. If the ship takes 10 points of major damage, the ship is wrecked.
Maybe I shouldn't be driving.
All right. And with that, lightning just streaks across the sky. The storm, it came upon you super fast. The rain is blinding rain right now. For all of you on deck, you have -2 to all your checks, -6 to your perception, and you can it's very dark. You can only see like a quarter of your view. So like you can't even see the front of the ship Cat, like because you're in the back with the captain. So the rain is just pouring down. It is cold. It is unpleasant. We have the wind is at a. It is whatever. Okay. Wind storm level, so it's a -1 to physical checks. Wind is blowing. Not as hard as it can be, but with that rain, it's making that rain just go sideways, and it's that rain that when it hits your skin, it's cold. It feels like little cuts. It feels like you're being cut. It just sucks. And the waves are intense, especially for anybody who's never been on a boat and is not a sailor. These are just massive waves, and you're shocked at how fast they came. And a 20-foot swell comes right over the side of up and over the side of the ship. And everyone on deck, I need you to make a dex or strength check.
I'm
So that'd
below,
be-
right?
You're below. So this
Okay.
is
Okay.
yeah, this is for Kat and Gary.
And it was a -2 to
To
our checks.
to your physical checks. Yep.
Okay, so that'll be a 15.
15. All right.
Oh, Gary.
I think you have push to talk.
That wasn't good. That was a nat 1 already.
All right.
That was
Well-
a nat. So that's a nat 1 minus. Well, +3 is 4, but plus I don't think it matters because it's. I can't remember. Is it on these kind of checks where the?
It's
That
only
one's-
attacks really, but
Okay, we'll see.
2.
Gary's gonna go surfing. It's a good thing he casted water walk.
All
Gonna be
right.
running
I'm
after.
just
Gonna be
making
running
rolls
after the
for the rest
ship
of
like,
these.
guys, you don't leave me behind. As I like run.
Yeah, so this huge wave comes, it slams over the side of the ship. And Elsa, you're good, like you are drenched, like you're also on a higher deck. You're on the top deck, but the where the wheel is, it's more elevated, so you don't get the full force of the wave as opposed to the people on the deck. Where
And a
Gary
lower center of gravity.
that is also correct. Gary, this sends you fucking spinning. Like, not only do you fall, actually the wave pushes you across the deck, and you hit the sidewall. You don't go over, but you just go slamming against that wall. You take 1 bludgeoning damage in that, and don't feel too bad because 6 other people on this deck just also fell prone from this wave.
I just imagine this beautiful, big half dragon pirouetting and then fumbling into the railing on the other side of the deck. It looks so graceful.
It's a beautiful
Until it
image,
didn't.
isn't it? Till whack.
And we're gonna go below deck for a moment, where Uma, I want you to also make a deck save, because you don't get hit by a wave, but it does rock the ship. And
I
Varro,
got-
you too.
A 20.
A 20. All right, so you're fine. You don't even move. You're just that dwarf half of you just sits there all like, I am not moving from no wave. You're good.
I'm
Everybody
bracing
else
up
on
against
that.
the guns, right?
What's that?
I'm in the gun area, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so she just braces up against one of the big cannons.
Right.
Holding
Is
it.
that -2 on checks or saves?
That is on checks.
Okay, so that's a 10 for Varro.
All right, Vara, you barely managed to keep your footing, but you do, and you're good. You know, no getting washed overboard there.
I didn't know the boat could turn that far to the side. Nobody warned me about this before we get on the boat.
Oh, and because of how rough the seas are. If anybody wants to move, it is rough terrain for you. So Gary, you let me move you to the wall over there. So whatever your movement is, it's halved. For all of you, all over the ship. All right. So you need to steer out of this. You need to maintain your course here, Cat. So I need you to roll a ship handling check.
Hey.
Whatever it is, you're gonna add a -2.
Could I use my survival? Or would it be?
Well, actually, so you no, it's just a straight D20
just a
that
straight D20.
yeah, it's just
Okay.
straight D20. So you're gonna -2 from that because of the rain and the wind.
Oh, that's not good. That's a 5.
It's a 5. Okay, so
Hey, it
you
wasn't
get
a 1.
but you also get a +5 because the captain is also helping you with the wheel, so you get a 10. Unfortunately, that does not maintain the course, so
No.
you are now down to scudding before the wind instead of sailing on course. So the ship is just like turning a little bit, not as straight as you would like.
Scudding, not scudding.
I don't want to
Scudding.
be scudding.
All right, we're going to Gary, was there anything you were going to do after being washed and pushed against the wall?
Yeah, Garaxis didn't like that, so he's going to take out. He's got 50 feet of rope.
Nope. Did we lose you?
Sorry, what did that?
I heard 50 feet of rope.
Yeah, I got 50 feet of rope, so he's going to tie himself to the mast or whatever he can get close enough to.
All right.
Something
what
like
is
a
your full
major, like a
movement?
mate. 30.
30. So. You should be able to make it to the mast and tie yourself
Okay.
to it.
All right, cool. Yeah, he'll tie like the rope around himself, and then around the around the mast. That way he can still. He won't get smashed around that like that again. He won't get washed overboard. Hopefully, I stress the hopefully.
The several other sailors on deck, they look at you and they nod, and some of them do grab some rope and they do the same thing. They lash it around the mast and tie themselves to it. It's a couple of guys. They don't have any rope, so they're kind of fucked. All right, now we
pays to
go.
have rope.
Never cut a good rope. All right, we're down to the gun deck. Uma, is there all right, so you're standing, you're on your feet. It's rough. You're not getting wet so far. The top cargo hatch, they secured a thick leather tarp over it. Usually, you've noticed during the voyage that it's been open, and so like the top deck and whatever would be exposed down to the gun deck where you are. But because of the rain, and you don't want rain just pouring right in, there was a tarp on there. But you look up and you just see that thing flapping, and you just hope it holds on because you don't really want to get wet. I want you to roll a perception check just to make sure that the tie downs on the cannons are holding.
It's a 14.
14. Yeah, so you take a look at the ones that you're around you that you, and they are secure. They're not going anywhere. Is there anything that you wanted to do?
How feasible is it for me to jump up and try to secure that tarp up there?
It's too high. It has to be secured from the top deck.
Okay. She's gonna just look around and make sure that there's nobody that fell and needs help, in her general vicinity that she would be able to help up.
All right, let me see. There's 4 dudes in your general vicinity. Let's see. One fell. Oh, another fell. Nope, that guy didn't fall. 2 guys fell. So you can make your way over there and help them up. Yeah, down here it's mostly just the gun crew. You see the doctor, the guy who you know is by the name of Holiday. He's down there, but he has nothing to do. Neither does the cook or the ship's cooper. So they're just kind of both down here in their hammocks, hoping they don't die. And the rest of the sailors here are part of the gun crew led by the Goliath, White Powder, who oddly enough seems to be enjoying this.
Yeah, she's just gonna make sure that nobody gets crushed by any of these cannons rolling on them or anything like that. Pushing anybody out of the way.
All right, that brings us down to the bottom deck, Varro. So you have your sea legs. You don't like it. You don't like this movement. Let me see. I'm gonna say the bilge pump. We'll say it's over here. So no water's getting in yet, but you were informed by the sailor closest to you that the weird barking noises that Yip Yap speaks in, he was instructing you to man the bilge when it is ready and necessary to use it. Is there anything that you wanted to do?
Yes, Vara would like to pray.
All right. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. So that is the first round. 1 hour goes by. Now I got to make some rolls to see how the next hour goes. Rain. Okay. Wind. Oh.
Water. Art. Captain Planet.
Wait. Uh-oh.
Come on, we need a reboot of that, right? Since we're,
Yes.
since they can't come up with anything original, what was the reboot of Captain Planet?
Captain Planet, he's a hero.
Have you ever noticed part of his shirt is red, part of it is blue, the same exact shade of blue as his face, which leads me to believe, my daughter pointed this out, that he's really just
He's not wearing a shirt.
He's wearing a tube top. It's just the red. He's wearing a belly shirt.
It
I
was
never saw that.
it was the 90s. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
I'm into it.
All right. So that was the first hour of this storm. The rain is pounding, and it continues to pound. It is still a blinding rain. There's still a -2 to all checks, -6 perception to those of you on the top deck. The winds, however, have died down a bit. They are no longer windstorm, they're just severe winds. So there are no penalties from the wind at the moment, which is a pleasant change, even though the rain is still just heavy cold rain. It's not like blowing in from the side and coming up from underneath type thing. So that is good. And unfortunately a massive wave, even though somehow the winds have died down a little bit, just the sea is churning. And Gary, because you had already been knocked on your ass from a wave, you only see it at the last moment, but this 30-foot wave, much taller than the ship, you see this thing coming, and it slams the side of the ship. So everybody roll a dex save here.
I don't like the fact that when you said it's still raining, I got a little thing on my laptop that popped up that said it is currently raining outside, because it's hooked up to the Wi-Fi.
So not dex save, dex check. It's dex or strength. You guys can choose either one. Yes. Yep.
So just straight dex or strength, or could we use like acrobatics or athletics?
I think it's didn't specify. So I'm going to go with What did you use last time for a dex? You just used. Did you do a save or did you do
Last time I did a save.
Okay, we'll stick with that because that's what we started with.
In that case,
There is a -2 because actually only for the people on the top deck because the below deck you're not affected by the rain and the wind is not churning the ship around so much at the moment. This is where we'll just
Everyone
Yep.
gets a -2.
-2
-2s for everyone. You get a
-2 to
you
whatever
get a
the hell you're
-2.
rolling. But not you, Uma, and not you, Gary, because you're not affected by the rain. This current -2 is only
his name is
because of the
Varro.
rain. Varro, and Uma gonna be doing. Yep.
that's an 8 for Varro.
It's an 8 for Varro. It is. The wave hits the ship, so it makes. Yeah, it's jolting the ship because of the force of the wave. So you're just making sure that the people on deck are going to make sure that they don't get washed overboard. The people below are trying to make sure that they can stay on their feet. Okay. Okay. Once again, is that with a -2? Doesn't matter. Once again, you are. Yeah, wait, no, I'm sorry. Never mind. No, it wasn't a -2. I was getting ahead of myself. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're again holding your ground with ease somehow, like you were supposed to be a sailor. Gary, you tumbled over on your ass. That knocked you down. The force of this wave. Not Gary, Varro. I mean.
Garaxis rolled an 18 -2 for a total of 16.
Okay, so total 16. Cool, you are good.
Do I get plus anything for future reference because of that rope, or no?
For which roll?
I'm just. Never mind. I'll ask it again if it becomes more relevant. Sorry, I jumped the gun.
All right, Elsa.
So I got all confused there for a second. And if you wanted a dex save, then I got a 7. If I was allowed to do a strength check, then I got a 19.
It's the strength the strength check. I think we're going with checks, and it's either strength or dex. If I can parse what Cuba was saying.
I'm gonna give you the strength check. Because otherwise you would have been washed overboard.
Yes. Very quickly.
So you held on. Like, this wave again, it towers over the ship, and it washed all over the deck, and with all your might and for literally dear life, you held on to that wheel, and the captain is like, hold on, as just this wall of water just comes washing over you. Let's see how many of these crew members get washed out to sea. Hold on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them.
Either
8 plus the captain.
Either Pat just sneezed or he just screamed in agony about the thought of those poor sailors getting washed overboard because they disarmed them.
I stubbed my toe. No, I sneezed.
All right. All right. So Actually, I forgot. So 3 of these guys lashed themselves to the mast so they don't get washed overboard. Captain passed.
Graxus was a good influence for once. Yay.
This dude didn't pass. This guy didn't pass. And everyone else made it, so 2 people have been washed overboard. And you hear from the crow's nest, Sweet Boot yell, "Men overboard!" The waves are churning. Alright, so, Cat, you can roll a ship handling check to increase status, maintain status, or maneuver to hold, or maneuver/hold station. So like that one is to try to keep the ship as in its current position as best as possible to try to retrieve anybody overboard. Or you can try continue sailing. You're currently scuttling against the wind, so if you have another fail, the ship's gonna take damage. Or you can roll to increase your status, which is gaining more control.
He's.
Yep.
I think we need to save him.
All right,
So-
then roll a d20, subtract 2 from it, then add 5, because the captain is helping you.
Why are you making me do algebra?
What's with all this math in this dragon game? Ugh. What is up?
Right? 16.
16. Is that with the captain's help?
Yes.
All right. You cannot hold the ship in place, unfortunately.
Jesus.
You tried. You don't lose. You're continuing to scuttle against the wind, but you are not able to maintain the position. Even though the waves, the waves are they're not cooperating with you, and unfortunately, the ship is getting blown in this direction, and we have 2 dudes in the water flailing about for dear life.
Oh.
Could Gorax, are the sails like out, like full sail?
No, the sails have been furled, right?
Oh, damn.
Unfurled is down, furled is up. So they've been
Yeah.
furled in preparation of the storm.
Damn.
I think the only sail that would be out would be that one on the very, very front to help.
The flying jib.
Yes, the flying jib would be unfurled, and it would be they replaced it with a thicker sail that is a little more resistant to the tear of the wind. So that's the only one that's just kind of helping with the direction. But if there's anything you want to try to do to save these dudes, then by all means.
If the sails were down, I would try to cast gust of wind, and from a different direction to try to like hold the ship in place for a moment while we try to save them. But if the sails are furled up, there's nothing for him to like push wind against. Really, I don't think.
And I guess depending on how strong you can make a gust of wind, you could try to like push the wind against the hull, or make the wind come from behind the dudes and push them closer to the ship, maybe?
I mean, that's up to you. I mean, I don't think that it comes from me. The wind, like that's.
Oh, okay. So
it
you
comes
can't
from-
like
I would be pushing
pinpoint.
them away. Like, see you guys.
Bye.
So yeah, if these sails were open, then I would try to do that to like stall the ship in space in spot for a moment. But
Okay.
you beat me to the punch with your sailing knowledge. Damn it.
I have read this and gone over this for weeks.
That's good. It's good.
Elsa, if there's anything you want to do to try to help them, feel free. You couldn't maintain the position of the ship, unfortunately.
know, it's always this like frantic scrolling of spells. That's what I'm doing. Like, I'm like scrolling through. Like, what can I do? What can I do?
Captain, we'll get there.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe if I had Thorn Whip, but I don't have it prepared. Like damage him, but bring him closer.
The captain,
She's got the thorny vines all over her horns, is from practicing with Thorn Whip.
the captain yells up to Sweet Boot, and he just yells out, Lysa! And then Sweet Boot relays the command, and Lysa, you see at the frontier, she hears it, she looks over, she runs over the edge, jumps off the ship into the water, and she's disappeared under the waves. Like, you can't see her, and oh, nope. Okay. And you see one of the guys, as the ship is slowly, moving away from them, you see one of the guys flailing, and then suddenly she appears up behind him and like grabs him, and then just like with ease she's able to swim back to the ship, and a rope is thrown down by some of the other crew members, and she like kind of like he grabs the rope and he pushes him up, and as she turns to look for the other guy, he's nowhere to be seen. So she grabs the rope and climbs back on deck as well. Unfortunately, I'll have to figure out which one of the crew that was. Alright, we're gonna move down to the lower decks. That was a really strong wave. Uma. A box of cannonballs actually knocks over and is rolling in your direction. So you need to make another dex save, or you're going to be hit by a onslaught of rolling cannonballs. Yeah. What's a 10? All right, so you're good. You managed to kind of like jump up out of the way and lift your feet to avoid them as they kind of go rolling. Nope. That was just because of the rain. Yep. Okay. Yep. So you avoid them. Some of them fall into, like, bounce off the grating and just kind of go skipping about to the deck, and you hear White Powder saying, "Get those balls! Get those balls!" And you see some of the crew members are scrambling to get those balls. They're scrambling to pick them up. A couple of them bounce up and over and fall between the grating into the cargo hold below, and you hear just Yip Yap go, "Yip Yap!" Really pissed off about it. You can let's see, roll a d10. All right, so you managed to grab 5 of the balls. She does. I mean, the ship's going sailing back and forth and moving like this does not bother you whatsoever. So of course you can sit there and juggle these cannonballs. I think White Powder might be falling in love because he has this big smile on his face as you are juggling the cannonballs and not even being bothered by the deck moving like so perpendicular left and right, up and down. All right, we bring at you all, yeah, you all. All right, Varro, you were knocked on your ass from the force of that wave. What you gonna do?
Varro is taking that as a sign that he was not meant to be on the ocean and would like to vow to never get on a boat after this day, but he is going to get to his feet, and he's going to try and just look around to see if there's anything that looks like it's going to tip over or topple over, and he's going to try and do his best to save it.
Okay, roll a perception check.
That's a 25.
All right, 25. The boxes that are behind you, they are pretty secure, so they're not moving. There are some barrels against the wall that they look like they might be a little wobbly, and you just notice at the last moment that one of the ropes wasn't secure enough, and a barrel starts falling forward, and there's a dude right there. So you can use half your movement. Using half your movement, you can make it over to him. So you're gonna catch this barrel, or
Varro wants to try to get the guy out of the way from the barrel.
all right. Let's see, do a athletics check.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. All right, so actually, so you run over and you grab the dude. Well, you grab him by the waist and you push him aside. Like, you don't get as far as you thought. Like, and this barrel comes slamming down like right at the feet of both of you, but narrowly misses both of you. And he just kind of looks at you like wide-eyed, like, holy shit.
Yeah. Should have seen the look on my face.
Yip Yak comes over and is pissed and barking, and the sailor you saved he doesn't understand him, but he gets the idea. So he asks you to help him load the barrel back up to where it was, and then Yip Yak, really giving them the stink eye, like ties it down himself. And he doesn't even look at the knot. He's looking at like both of you, like, you fucked up.
Varro's just gonna shake his head.
All right, so we're back on.
I can't fight that look. I mean, I know I'm wrong, and he knows I'm wrong. Why am I gonna try and argue with that?
All right, so we're back on deck. The hour is about up. Also, there's a crack of there's a roar of thunder, and the sky flashes, and lightning strikes right behind you. It strikes the stern of the ship about 10 feet behind you. It just comes down. There's a little black patch on the wooden deck. Nothing catches fire. It's too wet out here right now. But you're like, that was close.
That's hell nah.
All right, we're entering the third hour of the storm. And the rain, wind. And right. Oops. All right, so the rains actually after the first 2 hours of blinding rain, there seems to be a little bit of a reprieve. The intensity goes down for a little bit, and it's suddenly like almost like you're in the eye of a hurricane. The rain stops, and the wind, it's not as bad. It's not calm by any means, but it is not like gale force or hurricane storm type winds. They're blowing strongly, but not enough to rock the ship in too unpleasant of a way. And even the waves. The
Baro's
waves.
not sure if we all died or not.
Morrow on the bottom is very
He is
confused.
he is not convinced that everyone up there that we're actually like under the water getting further down.
Yeah, so even the waves, they're still 10-foot swells, but that's not high enough to come over the side of the ship. So the big waves, they're hitting the side. You know, they have some force, but they're not
Rocking like mama.
they're not close to some of these waves that you've had to deal with in the past few hours. Cat, roll a ship handling check. You can maintain or increase status.
I want to try to increase my status.
All right, there are no negatives, so roll
Oh.
and then add 5 because the captain.
11.
11. You.
D&D Beyond Dice do not like me tonight.
They don't like you. So the you guys are not able to keep this ship sailing straight. You are abreast the wind. Like there was a sudden gust and it just caught the ship just the right way, pushing it sideways, and the ship takes its first piece of major damage, and you see one of the masts starts the rigging is what I'm looking at. The rigging on the center mast towards the bottom where two of the biggest waves hit on the side where it's been tied down. The waves must have taken a good beating to it, so that piece just rips off, and it actually takes a good like 2-foot chunk of the side railing of the ship with it, and it's just dangling in the wind there right now. And you hear the captain just swear, presumably in a language that you are unfamiliar with.
Is it possible for Varaxis to get that far and cast Mending to fix the rigging?
Let's see, what is the range of mending?
Yep, you just gotta
guess
touch it and all the pieces have to be there. So,
All right,
Boom.
so you can
I mean, I'll untie myself if it's not that stormy again.
yes, it's not that stormy. You'd have to untie yourself. You'd have to head over there, and you would have to climb the rigging to get to it.
Grex is gonna give it a shot, even though
you
it's
can
like
do it.
elephants don't climb trees, but he's gonna try.
All right, so what's that?
What'd you say is? Yeah, exactly. I was thinking like a Komodo dragon or something.
So all right, so you head over. One other sailor heads over there. But you take it upon yourself to climb up there. You're like, I got a plan. So do a acrobatics check. And you can add 2 because
Ooh,
that sailor is helping you.
That's a
He's like-
22.
Oh, excellent. All right, so
Ooh.
yeah, he's like, no, don't grab there, grab over there, put your foot over there, and you manage to get up there with ease. And yeah, so you get up there, you get to where it is, you manage to reach out and like you kind of like grab the rigging and like pull it in the broken part, and you get the chunk of the ship and that ripped off. And with that roll, I'm never gonna have you roll to climb down. You managed to climb down easy enough. So
Nice.
you go ahead and you can go ahead and amend it.
Yay!
Yeah,
also,
that's I was gonna say that's just a cantrip. I don't have to roll anything for that. I don't.
oh, okay,
think.
yeah. So you just you bring it down, and the sailor with you, he like kind of like you instruct him to put it back where it's supposed to be, and he like holds it into position, and you like, close your eyes, you touch it, and this glow comes from your hand, and just the somehow the wooden shards just they start moving in. They come back and they rejoin and new fibers form, and it's good as new.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Greg's just gonna throw a thumbs up to the captain and second captain Elsa.
The captain nods approvingly. Because the rain is it's not raining right now. There's far more visibility on deck. You hear a bunch of the sailors go huzzah. Elsa, is there anything you wanted to do?
Roll better?
Yes, please.
I'm trying.
Greg, just to say, so I don't get caught. Grex is gonna go time himself back up.
Okay.
Like in the
Fuck this. All right, Uma. Things are calm on the gun deck. Was there anything you needed to do or wanted to do? Yeah, so it's not rough terrain right now, so everybody's running about. Like even White Powder should be giving these orders, but he is just fascinated by your dexterity and juggling abilities. He's now telling you that each cannon has a name. So there's Sally, there's Cindy, there's Betty, there's he's just
He's flirting with you.
He goes, this one don't have a name yet. I think I could name it Umazar. Right, yeah. It is also my favorite cannon. I was waiting for a special name. And this and his stares go on for the next hour. Varo, you're down on the deck. You're manning the bilge pump, which... Oh yeah, sure.
No. I am alive, but yeah, I'm not digging this trip. No, I avoid the big barrel. Me and this guy over here. We're so far so good. Thank you, I really needed that.
All right, so we're into the 4th hour of this storm. The first 2 hours were pretty tough. Last hour was not so bad, and as of yet, this 4th hour is also seemingly pretty good. At least rain-wise, there's still no rain. There was a let-up in the rain, and it's holding into this 2nd hour. The winds have picked back up. So they are not fun. They are now hurricane force winds. There is a -2 to all physical checks. So there's no rain, but that wind is a bitch. And the waves are not terrible, but because after a little while, as the winds continue to pick up, and now they're howling hurricane force type winds, another 20-foot swell comes rushing over the deck, and everyone on deck, please make a dexterity save or a strength check. I'll let both happen.
Oh, thank George. And this had a -2 to it because of the wind?
Yeah, if it's a physical check, yes. So if you're using strength, it'd be -2. I guess what? Dex is dex. No, yep. Never mind. Negative. -2 to physical checks. So if it's a strength, yeah, it'd be -2. If it's a dex, that's it. You're no negative. Is it okay?
Brains.
Okay. The true DM, the real DM, corrected me. So yeah, -2.
Okay. I got an 18.
18. All right, you are good. This wave comes, and like that wave, in the big wave in the very first hour, it hits the lower part of the top deck. So you get sprayed with water, but you are good. You're holding your feet there.
That was a nat 20 plus 3 for me. Minus
All right.
2. So 21.
All right. Same thing. You are
Can I just
also
T-pose? Can I just T-pose through the wave? Like a music video?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Doing the Titanic.
Up on top of the world. Oh, no, I want to like hold like Varro in front of me.
I mean, you're not at the bow, but like, yeah, we
I'm just
over
waiting
there.
I'm just waiting for Gary to climb the mast and just get up there, get up to it. God, you call this a storm? Like Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
It does make me wonder if I could redirect lightning now. That'd be cool. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. 3 of the crew on the deck go prone. They get their asses knocked to the floor from this wave, and everybody on the deck is soaked. But nobody is washed overboard, and that brings us to another ship handling check. Captain, my captain. Increase or maintain?
Increase, I guess.
All right.
So I feel
So-
like we're gonna get turned around here if I don't get us increase.
Roll.
Then we're gonna be sailing back to
You're
Pierce.
gonna be turned around. All right. So roll a d20, and then add minus. Oh, -2, then add 5.
Still, nat 20.
You cut out when you did that. That's why.
Okay.
It was just silent, and your hands were just.
Yeah. So that's a nat 20
Yep.
plus 5 minus 2
I want
is
to
a
hear that.
23.
All right.
We need
so-
that the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift music to come to like kick in. You guys don't. Nobody here knows that theme, right?
I didn't even
No.
see that.
Ah, damn it! It was like that do 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 do. Like the whole ship goes sideways, like all cool. Like, god damn it! That was like a perfect reference.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. So these hurricane winds, they are. Your arms are burning. You and the captain, you're trying to straighten the ship, keeping it from going sideways again, and he's pulling it towards himself, and you're also cranking it that way, and he's like, "Oh, stay hold," and you're sitting there holding. Your arms are just feel like they're gonna fall off, and then you finally feel that the ship is turning in the direction that you want it to go, and you end up straightening the wheel, and he goes, "Great job, very good." That's not his accent at all, but we're in a storm. I'm British now for some reason. And all right, so you increase your status. You are back to scudding before the wind.
My butt is scuttled.
All right. That is. Was there anything else anybody was going to do on the top deck?
Garaxes would pass word to see if there's anything else major on the ship that's broken or has damage, since he doesn't know what's going on below decks. That way he could possibly use mending to fix it.
There is no way right now for anybody on the top deck to know what's going on below decks. Like, you have to go inside. You have to, like, go into the cabin, go down the steps, go down, like, the ladder to below decks. But that's just not going to be happening right now. But you can do a... How about roll a perception check to see how well this tarp is holding against these hurricane winds.
That's 8.
And 8, well, you don't...
Yeah, but then -2, so it's a 6, so it's... Right? Everything has -2 right now.
Oh, physical
not that it really
checks.
matters.
I mean, I don't think...
It doesn't matter anyways, an 8.
Yeah.
I
mean, you're looking around, it's just like, you know, you can't tell if everything seems normal. Alright, below decks, Uma, you're still kind of being flirted with. Is there anything that you wanted to do? Oh, you didn't roll to... Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and see if you stay on your feet there. You can roll a dex save or a strength check. Oh. So, for the first time in this storm, you end up falling down on your bum. Like, you're just, you're politely... Maybe I don't want to speak for you. I was gonna say you're politely holding off his flirtatious advances. But if you're into that, then you weren't politely holding off his flirtatious advances.
Sorry, I was muted. Uma doesn't know what to do, so she's just pretending like she doesn't know what is happening.
You're distracted by his constant flirtatious conversation, and when the wave hit the side, you lost your footing, and you tripped a little bit and fell on your bum. Yeah. As did 4 other people on this deck.
It was all them, the rest of them loose balls.
Gotta wrangle your balls, boys.
Unfortunately, nothing came loose.
Except balls.
Except, well, that was the last time the balls came loose. Release the balls! Alright, below deck, Varro, I need you to...
A caution symbol that says environmental hazard loose balls. Come on, now I want one.
Varro, you make a dex save or a strength check.
It's a 23 for Varro.
All right, very good. So you feel the thud, the hit, and you feel the ship lurch. You manage to stay on your feet. This one was not that bad for you. Somewhere where you can't see up towards the more towards the bow of the ship here. You just hear someone go whoa, and the unmistakable ass of someone falling on their ass and losing their footing. Anything you're doing down below deck?
Because Varro's trying to get like the feel for the ship going back and forth, he's reminded of his training back at home. So he is actually going to use the dodge action of patient defense to give himself advantage on dexterity saving throws.
Nice.
All right. I like it. We're going into hour 5 of this storm. It is now nighttime. I mean, this storm probably hit about 5, 6 in the evening. So we're now 5 hours into it, and it is definitely nighttime. You are getting tired, and you are just hoping that it ends soon. And
And our DM rolled the storm hours on a D100 and came up with 90.
no, it was a D10, I think. Anyways, there is the storm. Gary, the storm god must have really enjoyed your dance, or you getting hurt by falling off the mast, because the intensity of the storm continues to not be too bad. It has begun raining again. It's gone. It's a heavy rain, but it's not a blinding rain. So there's a -1 to all checks for those of you on the top deck, and -4 perception. Wind-wise, like it's severe winds, but it's like a spring day compared to hurricane winds. So the winds did a complete 360. There are no penalty checks to the winds. Same thing with the waves. No huge waves. They're big for sure, but they are not massive swells, and no big waves have been coming over the ship. There is a crack of thunder, and it hits the front mast of the ship, right behind the second mate, startling her severely. And we need Elsa to perform a ship handling check. Do you maintain or increase your status?
I would like to increase my status. And that
I
gets
see
us
you
back
like to
on
live
course.
dangerously. All right, so go ahead, roll a d20, -1 for the rain, and then add 5 for the captain's help.
Yeah, I do like to live dangerously. That's a 9 in total.
9 in total. So, you do not increase your status.
Nope.
So, and that fail brings us to...
Nope.
Alright, so we're still scudding before the wind here.
That's good.
No major
Yeah.
damage, but it's... You're having a little hard time. It's probably the fatigue starting to set in. Your arms are very tired. This wheel is very heavy and very hard to steer, even when the weather lightens up a little bit. Anything on deck? Anybody?
No, just like I said, Garaxis, if there's anything on deck that's busted, he would try to
Alright.
fix it and just kind of just generally help out with it, what everyone else is doing, while still staying
Yeah.
tied up.
No, dude. The rain is back up again, so more of the people on deck have they've gone back to lashing themselves to the deck. Sweet Boot is up there, up in the crow's nest, looking around. She's a cat, so she's not very happy that she's so wet, but she's also happy that she's not down on the deck getting pummeled by waves. Liza, I keep saying her name wrong. The mer elf, she does not tie herself down. She does not look happy because she is still upset that she lost a member of the crew. And the first mate up there, you cannot really... She's had her back to you the whole time. She is up on the front. Every once in a while, she'll yell something down over to Lysa, and that gets relayed to the captain if necessary. But she is just laser focused on the bow of the ship and everything that's going on up there. Uma, anything in on your deck?
No, she's just doing what she can to help keep everything in place, checking in on Varro now and again.
And Varro, unless there's anything, we're gonna move into the 6th hour of this storm.
Nope. Varro's still trying to ride the waves best he can. Trying to get the feel for it.
Alright.
Before the next hour starts, Graxus is gonna look back at Elsa and try to give her like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Like, how you doing? Obviously, I don't think she could probably hear me because of the wind. But like,
Pulling a
you
Malcolm.
good? You want to change? What? As you say, Graxus has no idea what to do with that, so he's just gonna continue doing what he's doing.
Alright.
Just
Alright, we're
She's
moving into
already
the...
got horns, so now she's a triceratops.
I should show a picture of the one that Malcolm did. Maybe I can find it. Remember that one?
Oh,
Where he was like,
what?
no. Oh my god, this
Oh,
dog.
sorry, I did-
Oh my god, this dog just
As a
farted really bad.
dog farting? Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
What was Malcolm doing? I didn't have the video up.
Remember when we went to the Cape and he was doing this weird ass face for like ever, where he was just like,
Oh, yeah.
I'll be right.
and he
Just give me-
held it
She's
for
give
like
me one.
45 seconds.
Yep. Alright, so we're in the 6 hours of this storm. Believe me, it could have been a lot worse in the last several hours. The rain has maintained a heavy rain, but it's not a blinding rain. Everybody on deck is miserable. You're tired. You are wet. The waves are... the wind is
Oh yeah.
has picked up slightly. -1 to physical checks. Not hurricane wind though. Just strong wind, but not terrible. Waves are good. We are not doing bad with the waves here. Small swells of like 5 to 10 feet. And there's another crack of lightning that hits, misses the ship. It misses right off the stern of the ship, which everybody is very happy because nobody wants a lightning strike on the mast or the sails here. All right, Elsa. Time to captain again.
Again.
Sorry about that. I just come back to that picture of Malcolm.
He thought it was so funny. He held that face for like 30 seconds. We're like, what are you doing? And he just wouldn't
Yeah,
stop.
for a good while.
Like, no, this is it. You guys don't understand. This is the moneymaker. I'm going to maintain.
Maintain. All right.
I'm tired.
So go ahead and roll a d20 minus a 2. Actually,
Oh,
minus.
For
That'd be a minus
Jesus.
3. Oh, plus 5.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. No. That's not math I can do. I don't do good with negatives.
We can
I
Is
only
it just
deal
a
with
plus-
positive numbers.
+3.
No, it'd be a
said-
negative 3.
No, you said +5 -2, right?
Plus 5 minus 3.
Oh, so +2 then.
Yeah, okay.
we go. So
My brain hurts.
That got me a 7 minus whatever 2. So yeah, that's a 5.
Okay. Sudden strong gust of wind comes and it
Elsa's hungry. She hasn't gone this long without eating.
it lurches the ship to the side. You feel like the captain says stand back, and the wheel just kind of spins on its own, and then he manages to grab it, and you grab it, but unfortunately it puts the ship in a awkward position against the wind, and you hear a big rip from behind you, and you look up, and there's a huge rip. Even though the sail is furled, so a rope must have come loose, and just a little pocket of wind was enough to rip a hole in the sail that is on the mast closest to you on the back of the ship. There, ship takes its second, but technically second, but first piece of major damage, because Gary mended that first piece of major damage.
Can I go mend that one since I'm closer?
You can certainly try.
Okay. Do you want athletics for that?
You're going to have to climb up the rigging, so that's going to be an acrobatics. But you're going to have to do a -3 to whatever you roll.
I don't have any dex. Actually, well, the wind is picked back up, right? So Gary wouldn't be able to hear me. Okay.
You could yell to, like, if he gets closer, then he could. But for where he is right now, he could see your mouth moving, and
would I have
maybe
heard
if
that rip? Like, was it
not
that
from
big?
not from where you are.
Okay.
I only her and the captain would have heard the rip, because it would be like above their heads.
So I'm gonna pantomime to Gary.
He's just he's just looking at her and shaking his head and just saying, "Ah, shit." He's gonna untie himself and he's gonna head over to her.
All right.
Is it difficult terrain or anything because of the waves, or whatever it is?
Just double check what I said the waves were. No, the waves are not bad. It's the wind and the rain that would make it difficult terrain. So you would only be able to make it, I believe, halfway to her. Yeah, I think you'd be able to make it to like the stairs or right below the top deck that she is on. But to like make it up the stairs to her, you wouldn't be able to.
Would that be close enough to hear what she's saying?
Yeah, because she can like run over and like yell down the railing to you.
All right. So yeah. So Graxius, once he gets there, is just gonna look up and just what, what's wrong besides all this?
I'm really not good at making the ship go in the right direction, and I think the sail behind me broke. I don't think I can climb up there. Can you fix it? I saw you fix the other one.
You're doing a fantastic job. Amazing.
Yeah. We're turned around, I think. We're going back for more beer.
Only forward, little one. Graxis is going to use that new spell. Am I close 100 feet or closer to that ripped sail? I'm assuming.
Let's see. Yeah, from where you are. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Can you use that animate rope to bind you? Like, there's a lot of text in this, so I don't want to really read the whole thing because it's going to take forever. But part of it says, um, basically, you get to give a rope a command, like
Yep.
coil and knot, loop and knot, yada yada yada. I can give one command each round as an action, yada yada yada. Can I basically make one of those ropes come alive and like bind up that broken part of the sail and like loop it and knot it with that spell? Would that be possible?
I mean, you could like animate one of the ropes and like wrap it around where it tore, but the sail's going to need to be stitched.
Right. I figured, but was it affecting the ship now?
No, but it will when the sails become unfurled.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah,
They're
then
furled. It's just like, you know how the wind gets into like those
Yeah,
weird pockets.
Yeah, so then Garaxus isn't going to worry about it at the moment. I thought maybe that it was like causing the ship to do something funny now. You know what I mean?
No, it's just something that's gonna take repairing.
But we
And
could
if
do
it
that
doesn't get
later.
repaired, if it doesn't get repaired, then obviously it's gonna affect the way the ship sails. But like right now, it's not gonna cause the
Okay.
ship to sink or anything.
All right, yeah. So Garaxus will, I'll just say to Elsa that I think it's going to be all right for right now. Um, we could take care of that later with the captain. Are you okay up here? Or he's actually yelling, "Are you okay up here?" I just want to. I got people sleeping over there and people sleeping in our room. So
I don't think I am. I'm okay because I'm still here on the ship, but I don't think I'm doing a very good job. But the captain hasn't kicked me out yet.
You're doing a fine job. This is not an easy task for any, even the most seasoned of sailors. I got my accent back.
You did.
the sea gods gave it back. If you want to, if at any time you want to switch, you just say the word, Elsa. but you're doing a great job. And he's gonna. Do I know Elsa long enough to know that she'd be hungry, Elsa?
It's been like a week.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw a ration to her.
Yeah.
Like something like the equivalent of a candy bar. You know?
Yeah. Halflings are always hungry, right?
So yeah, this is like fourth breakfast
Roll
or fourth dinner.
roll an athletics to see if you can throw it up to her, and then I want you, Cat, to, because you're gonna be throwing it like up, and it's raining and it's windy. So you roll, Gary, you roll in athletics, and Elsa, you roll you also roll in athletics to see if you can catch it.
That's a 20 minus. I don't know what the penalty was for the wind. Was it 1 still?
Where are we? So it's wind and rain. So there's
He just wants his new
negative
buddy. He just wants his
2.
new buddy to be fed.
I need
Actually,
fifth dinner.
-3 total.
That's a 17 for Graxus.
Hey,
All right,
I got
so,
the same thing.
all right. So yeah, you toss a ration up there, and like, you know, you're like, oh man, that looks like that wind's gonna take it, but she manages to sit there and snatch it right out of the air, and her belly is slightly full.
all that for just to sate the hunger. Like
Yes.
Graxus is hungry too, so he's gonna take whatever else that he's got in his pack and he's gonna shove his own mouth because he's always also constantly hungry. So
All right, we're gonna go back down to the gun deck. Uma, anything? Oops.
she's just gonna be sort of avoiding white powder and going around to make sure that all of the other people are doing okay.
Yeah, when he's not, giving orders and stuff like that, he is totally making like, batting his eyelashes and doing the at you. You have impressed him.
Yes.
All right, Varo, how we doing down below decks? I'm gonna be honest. I expected much more severe weather and much more flooding in the lower decks at this point when I had planned this scenario. So I apologize if managing the bilge pump has been boring.
That's all right. Varo doesn't want to drown.
All right. If there's no one else, anything else from anybody, we will be moving into hour 7 of this storm here. And
Holy shit! Did you roll a 9 or a 10? Jesus. You said
what?
you rolled a D10. You said you rolled a D10 for the hours, right?
I did.
This is a long sea storm. Holy crap! You said the god likes us. I think he hates us.
You know
Holy
what
shit.
the original thing wanted me to do? I
Do
cut
you
it down
really
by
wanna know?
like a lot. I'll tell you later. All right, so this is hour 7 of the storm. A couple of you have eaten your rations, but especially those of you on the top deck, you're wet. You are tired. The seasoned sailors know that storms are never fun at sea. This one is not the worst that they've seen, but just like no one's saying that out loud, but it's almost on cue, like their minds were being read. The rain intensifies. It is a blinding rain once again, and the wind picks up to hurricane levels, and it is again feels like little knives and needles against the bare skin. It is the worst, and especially considering it's early winter time, so it is it's not literally freezing rain, but it's fucking freezing rain. Oddly enough, with hurricane winds, there are no major waves. The waves, they stay where they are, at about 10-foot swells. It's almost unnatural. It goes against the laws of physics in a way, but hey, it's a world of magic and gods. There is
The rolls broke the world.
there's a -2 to all checks from blinding rain, and a -2 to physical checks from the hurricane force winds. There is a crack of lightning. Thunder fills the air. It hits the front mast. The mast does not catch fire because of the intense wind. There is another crack of lightning. That one misses the ship. Although the waves are not coming over the sides, you are being tossed back and forth. It is not fun. Elsa, we need a ship handling check. Maintain or increase status.
I'm gonna try to maintain.
Alright. Go ahead and roll.
Anyway, plus 5 is a 10. Minus whatever.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, plus 2.
Alright, yeah, you
7. That's fantastic.
you are trying so hard. You and the captain are literally fighting against a hurricane at this time, and just you're not able to hold it. The ship is it's going not in the direction you want it to go. It is going sideways. You hear a loud crack from the front of the ship from the bow, where the front mast cracks. It doesn't quite fall down, it's held up by rigging, but there is a big crack in the front mast where the ship takes another piece of major ship damage. Alright.
And Araxis try to mend that.
Graxus is not going to make it all the way over there. That is the very front of the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's rough terrain as it is, and with hurricane winds, you probably don't want to be venturing out to the furthest edge of the ship. But you can certainly try to head over there if you like. You will have to climb rigging again.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like at like the base of the mast. Or anything.
No, it's
up high.
about like 10 feet up or 15 feet up.
Not at this moment.
All right. All right. Below decks. Here we go. Uma. A cannon comes. The that jarring pitch of the ship. It actually snaps one of the bindings on the cannon that is closest to you, and it begins to roll across the deck. You need to do a strength check to try to catch this cannon, and you get a +5 because white powder is running over and also helping you with it.
It pays to have the strong guy have a crush on you when you're a strong girl. Damn.
It also pays that his job as the master gunner, he can't have his cannon smashing into another cannon.
She's
so strong, she's gonna be like, get the hell out of my way.
She's holding it with one hand. She's like, I got this. Get the fuck back.
No, I rolled a 5.
Oh. Alright, so that is a 10. Let's see. Alright, so between you and white powder, you are able to catch this cannon. It slides across the deck about halfway, where you come over and you're bracing it, but it's like still pushing against you, and then he comes over and he grabs it from the other side, and you guys are able to keep this cannon from rolling across the ship, knocking into another cannon, potentially causing far more damage. Yeah, so you guys are able to roll that back into place and tie that back down. Varro, that jarred stuff down here, and we're going to see. All right, so that. All right. There are. I don't think you are in a position. Oops. To really grab them. So a bunch of barrels, not barrels, some of the boxes that are stacked behind you, they come loose of the ropes just from being jarred so hard. I need you to do a dex save so that you don't get crushed by a large crate.
That's a 14 for Varro.
That's a 14. Varro, you are just at the nick of time. You're like, oh shit! And this crate comes. There is no catching this crate. It's it's one of those like 2-man crates that and it's stacked on top of other ones. The binding, the roping though it's still tied down. The roping, is that a word? It's still tied down by the ropes, but like they kind of twisted, allowing for this crate to kind of swerve around, and you jump out of the way as this comes smashing down, and the contents spill all over the place. It's not they're actually I have written down what the ship's cargo is. One moment, because I don't remember what the ship is carrying. It is a cargo of. Alright, so this crate comes smashing down, and oil and spices just go all over the area that you're in. You smell phenomenal, but you are now covered in oil and exotic spices.
Ugh. Ugh.
You probably smell better than you ever have in your life.
Not
Alright,
the
was
bar.
there
Tasty.
anything you wanted to do down there?
Nope, he's just gonna stay on his toes again, using his patient defense to be on the move, because now he's pretty
Alright.
sure the ship is trying to kill him.
Hey, you'll
All
smell
right.
you'll smell pretty when it happens, though. So, it's the small things.
After 7 hours of this storm, and the last hour being particularly intense, you
It's
guys
over.
are exhausted, and it is over. The skies, it's nighttime, but you see the moon finally. The waves, they're churning, but they're not violent like they were. The rain has tapered off. It's kind of like a light sprinkle at this point, to the point where then it eventually does taper off to no more rain. The wind is howling but not raging, and the clouds are starting to part. The moonlight is now finally shining on the water, and those of you on the top deck, you're able to look out with clear visibility now, and you're seeing the beautiful reflection of the moon on calm waters that are up ahead of you. If you take a look behind this, it's just like a raging swirl of just darkness, this mass that you can't see through, with flashes of lightning from within. And the crew on deck lets out a cheer, and the captain, he pats you on the shoulder. Elsa, he's like you have done well. You have done a great job. We have made it. It is now time to rest and eat. At daybreak, we will assess our damages, do whatever repairs are necessary. And he walks over to the edge of the deck, and people are clapping at him, and he's nodding. He's giving affirmations to his officers, and waving to the crew and telling them that they've done good jobs and everything like that. Turns and yells towards your direction, Gary. He goes, "Garaxus, you pleased the god of storms. That could have been much, much worse. We thank you." And with that, you guys survived the storm.
Huzzah!
Once we hit land, it's gonna be hard to talk Varro back onto a boat after that.
He won't even get on a fucking canoe or anything, or a rowboat after this. In like a stream. No
If
way.
it's a puddle,
Elsa
if
just
it's a
falls. Oh,
if
go
it's a
ahead.
puddle above his ankles, he ain't going.
Well,
Elsa
I
just falls backwards on her back, right there at the wheel, just done.
Well deserved, Elsa.
And
Well deserved.
the ship handling is the toughest. They're like, the DCs for these are insane, but like, you're supposed to get the help of the captain and stuff like that, but oh yeah. Well, where is it? The
Well, I mean, if you're supposed to be in a hurricane, it makes sense.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the highest DC was to maneuver and hold position. So if someone falls overboard, like the whole position in a storm is like nearly impossible. So that's like a 25. Yeah, like to
So
maintain,
close.
to maintain it's like 15 to maintain scuttling before the wind is 15, to maintain sailing on course is 20. So they're high DCs, but yeah, when you got blinding rain and hurricane winds and 30-foot swells. But no, you guys did really good. I like I said, I was expecting far more damage to the ship, and my rolls did not go well. That tarp held in place because you got 3 hours of relatively calm weather. That's why like I had someone down at the bilge pump, because like whoever it was, like Varo, you're in the bilge pump. I was expecting like, all right, so like the water is now pouring in from the top deck, and you're gonna have to make rolls to, maintain the bilge pump. All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed
Never know
that.
which way the dice is gonna go.
Nope.
Never know.
Sometimes it's on the player's side, other times it's on the DM. Tonight, the dice gods were merciful to us players.
Yes.
The tech gods, not so much. So
They
we are
never
going
are.
to raid the DAT network, the Dragons and Things network. They were one of our biggest raiders back when we were on the Nat 30s channel. I think they raided us once with like 140 people. It was amazing. So we're going to go raid them. I have no idea how their game is going, but they are playing Pathfinder. And we will see you Thursday. There's some mini painting here on the compound. Saturday is Wild West. No. Saturday is another game. Mythos is Saturday. And then Sunday we are continuing with the Bums of Greenest, and we'll see how that session goes. My fingers are crossed that we'll have 6 players. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but 5 would be great. So we're gonna hope for that. So we are going to go ahead and raid. Thank you, everybody. You can use those channel points, enter into the monthly giveaway. I should have pictures of our March dice coming soon, and and we we'll see you throughout the rest of the week. So
Good night. Goodbye, everybody.